Alright. Let's put the music down. I feel like a radio DJ. Hey everyone, today we're just gonna have fun. That's what I'm all about. I'm all about fun. It's not true. Alright, let's not talk about depression. Anyway, so today we're just gonna have fun, and I thought I don't want to jump right into, you know, around the world again. I want to explore a little bit. I had a little bit of chance of trying to understand the new flight simulator. What I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna have casual flights. What I want to do is I want to fly around the place where I grew up in. I want to show you guys where I'm from. How does it look where I'm from? And with that being said, there's a great airplane to do that. And actually, I don't know its name, but it's the kind of semi-water plane. What is it called? The Icon A5. It's a slow-speed aircraft. The altitude's not that high. It's all fine for what I want to do. This is perfectly fine. So we're gonna choose that aircraft. This aircraft is special because it's an aircraft that you can land on water or on land, which is awesome. Which is exactly what I want to do. With that being said, we're in the beginning. First, we're not really starting off in America right away. I want to go back to where it all began, more or less. I want to go back to Austria, and it's nighttime in Austria right now. It's beautiful. I never saw the map. Now that I'm thinking about during nighttime, but we'll zoom in, and we'll try to figure out where we are. Okay, so this is the closest airport that we have, which is LOXZ, which is Zeltweg. It's a military airport, and I think we're good. Flight conditions. I'm gonna set it to daytime, so right now it's 1 o'clock in the morning. Let's put it to 9:30. I don't know why that's a. No, it should be a good thing. That's fine. And weather, I think we leave it at clear sky. Actually, let's throw a few clouds in there. More realistic. Why the hell not? And before there we go. Before we get started, let me just make sure we have everything else set up correctly. So we have the plane selected. As a return, we're just gonna use Zeltweg again too. So there's not gonna be any like we're not gonna fly to a different airport. We're just gonna cruise through the area. And by the way, this is the first time with that airplane. Hopefully I'm gonna figure it out fairly quickly, but it seems to be one of the more simpler ones. Fine by me. It's all good. All good. And we're just gonna fly around a little bit. See what's cooking. And this should be it. Again, never flown this aircraft, but I've seen.
Tower Icon Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra ready for straight out departure at runway 26 left.
All right.
Icon Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra cleared for takeoff runway 26 left straight out departure approved.
All right. Let's make sure everything is loading in first. We're already in start configuration. So this aircraft's pretty cool because first of all you get a nice view of everything. So you have a huge glass window here. You go up here a little bit. This is beautiful. And we are facing westwards. Am I seeing this correctly? Let me just make sure. Yeah, north up, so we're facing westwards. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, let me zoom out here a little bit. So this is basically the valley that I'm from, and you see the river going through here. We're gonna take out to the west, we're gonna turn south, turn around, and then fly northeastwards. And what I want to do is, there's some mountains here in the north, and there should be, and you see here in the terrain. We're gonna fly over the mountains, and then we're gonna go back over the city. The city that I live in is fairly close. It's the town over, so it's around here, so we should be all good to go. The flaps are set to 15, which is takeoff. It's all good. I'm not even gonna play around with any lights or preparation. This is just gonna be fun. Let's make sure I got everything prepared here. I think I have figured out the outside. So I have the drone here, so we can actually utilize the drone in flight. Well, look at that. I mean, wow. This is incredible. That's fantastic. I think they did model... I mean, they modeled the environment incredibly well. The only difference to reality is, in my humble opinion, that there's no snow right now. So I think Bing Maps got it wrong in that sense, that they didn't necessarily get the time of the year right. But with that being said, yeah, let's take off. Let's get this party started. Again, this is a fun flight. Hopefully it stays fun. We unlock the brakes. Alright, there we go, yeah. We need a little bit more power. And full power set. We're trying to stay on the center line. Let's see if the airspeed is coming up. Airspeed is alive. And we gotta go above 40. And we should be able to lift off. Get the landing gear in. And we're flying. We are flying. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take a slight turn to the south. So this is where the military base is to our left here. Let me actually make sure we get the flaps in. So this is, we're basically facing south at this point. We're gonna take a left turn. In front of us is the river, the main river that surrounds my area. It's quite incredible from a detail perspective. It's quite amazing. Let me get the so yeah, you see there's some snow apparently now drawn, which it shouldn't, which I think is fine. Go a little bit off the speed here. Over here we have on the left side we have the Autobahn, or part of it. This is where the city that I grew up in starts. So yeah, let me go a little bit lower. And we can go in active pause and take a look at any given time, but this is basically my hometown that we're looking at.
Icon X-ray Golf Sierra, you are leaving my airspace frequency change approved.
I forgot that we have. There we go. In front of us here at the bottom is the massive train station / train facility where a lot of people in my area work. Right in front of us at the bottom here. You see the... I don't think they actually drew in the train tracks, but these are all train tracks here at the bottom. Hey, Jaws the boss. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. And as you can see, this is the main town here at the bottom. The inner city part. Just got a fly that aircraft too. And pretty incredible. And here, let me do a right turn here. There's a little side valleys that you can drive into or go up hiking. You can actually, let's do this. Let's fly up one of those valleys. Fairly low. And see what's cooking. So this is a valley called Gobanitz. Very small, only, as you can tell, a couple of houses in here. It's a beautiful valley to just take your bike into. You know, chill out. Go up the mountains a little bit. It's not too high here. Those are more... Let me deal with air traffic control real quick.
Zeltwig Tower Icon Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra frequency change.
Alright. So as you can tell, there's valley then splits, and you can basically go even further up the valley here. We'll stay a little bit in the outside view, so it's easier to spot. And you see there's the once in a while house here. There's some good restaurants up here actually, believe it or not. You can have a good time coming up here, spending your day, taking your bike up, and before you head home you grab a couple of beer, and then you realize you can't drive your bike anymore. It's all good. Alright, before we head even deeper into that valley and up the mountain, I'm gonna take a turn here. Let me go into the cockpit view. So we're gonna do a turn. We're gonna fly down into the valley. It's I tell you guys, this is incredible. Like, if you are in a plane, this is how the mountain range looks. So this in front of us, and this is where we're going right now, is our house or town mountain range that we see every time we stand up. Almost every citizen in my hometown at one point went up those mountains, and we're gonna pick up some speed and we're gonna fly up to those mountains. One of the mountains that we visit regularly has a very beautiful chapel up there. So the custom is you walk up there, and in the chapel there's a book where you sign in, and you basically, well, you leave a little message and you tell the people something inspiring. At the bottom left corner here you see a little body of water. This is what we call the Green Lagoon. This is a very, or was at least, a very common swimming place, which is it's more or less a little lake, artificial lake, and I think owned by Didi Mateschitz, who is the owner of Red Bull. And we will do that too. On the way back from the mountains, we'll actually go with a racetrack, because we do host the Red Bull Ring, which is part of the Formula One circus, which every year the Formula One racing comes to our town. It's just, I mean, how gorgeous is this? It's incredible. See the airport here in the back, which is a military airport. It's not a commercial airport. This is the Autobahn again that connects all the way out to Vienna. So here we are basically at the outskirts of the Alps. The further west, or sorry, east you go, the less mountains there are, until it becomes completely flat. So yeah, we are going to the so-called Sekala Alps, which is the town right in front of those mountains is called Sekal, and those mountains are named after them. It's just incredible. Alright, so we're gonna fly up those mountains. They're not that far away. They might look a little bit further away, but we're not really going that fast. So you see there's a lot of stretch of land underneath where you only see a couple of houses, so we're definitely not very densely populated. But there's a good amount of people there. We have malls and everything. Not as big as American malls, but they'll do. Yeah, normally you would take a car all the way to the bottom of the mountain. You wouldn't walk from our hometown because it's about a 10-15 miles walk just to get to the bottom of the mountain. But you would drive as much as you can towards the mountain and then probably have a 3 or 4 hour hike upwards to get to the top. It does look more interesting though with the snow on top, because this is how we see it for 8 months a year, in all honesty. Obviously in the summer right now there's no snow up here. And as you can see, there's multiple, actually let me use my mouse, there's a mountain over here it's called the Zinken, and then there's a smaller one in here, and then the one that we normally visit is this part of the mountain. This is where the chapel is, and we'll see if we can spot the chapel when we fly over. We'll take a turn and then fly down and visit the racetrack. And then, as a little surprise for all my watchers, we're gonna find out where Jaws the Boss lives. Gonna fly into his house with our plane. Just kidding. Well, I'm not sure yet. Maybe we do that. Alright, and as you can see, like, the mountain is coming closer, so we're losing ground altitude, which means our ground is coming closer even though we're slightly ascending. And obviously we want to try to not lose too much altitude. We want to, in case we get into some trouble, we can make some sort of maneuvers. Alright, then we fly, we'll go back out here. And those mountains are about 9,000, 10,000 feet high. So we're talking, it's not super large mountains, but they'll take a time to get climbed by a person. And they're just gorgeous views, and we'll turn around in a second so we can actually see the views. You can land on those mountains. I did try that yesterday with my cousin. We flew around a little bit, and it is totally possible. That's just not the plane that you would use for that. There's the Cup that we tried that has large tires and stuff, so that's totally doable. And you see in the back all those mountains, so you're getting more to the core. If you fly over our valley, you see like even more higher mountains in the next valley. And this is basically how it goes. You have a valley, you have mountains, you have a valley, mountains, and they're sometimes parallel to each other. But just beautiful. The experience that you can have flying in this game is, it's not about it's not really about the flying, it's more about the amazing views that you can experience. We're gonna take a left turn here. Just look down the valley, it's incredible. Get some updraft here, wow, that was pretty interesting. So we just got some amazing updraft from the mountains. That's gonna slow it down here a little bit. Just incredible. Wow. So the city that we just flew over, which is my hometown, is over here. And this smaller mountain range, it's not really a mountain range, it's what we call our houseberg, a house mountain. Fun fact, I brought my wife up that mountain and I told her, like, well, it's just a little, you know, it's just a little hill. And she almost killed me halfway through. So yeah, you see the valley is kind of split here with that smaller mountain range. So we're gonna go over that mountain range, and about where the clouds are right in front of us is where we have the racetrack. So I'm gonna fly over, and then maybe I'm gonna fly over slightly left and we go a little bit lower. And we'll see the racetrack, and then we're gonna land back in, and that concludes part 1 of my PipeChess tour. The second tour is actually going to be in the United States. We're gonna fly from Brainerd in Connecticut over to Coventry Lake. And I go through clouds. It's pretty cool. It's just insane how well crafted that game is. Visually, it's impeccable. So you see the airport here in the front. We're gonna land in later on from the east-west, so basically opposite, or actually the same way we started out here. But what I want to get to is right in front of us is the racetrack. I'm gonna indicate it here with my mouse. This is the Red Bull Ring, as we call it, and I crashed my aircraft. I've overstressed the aircraft because I oversped. Okay, that was not that good. Let's restart real quick. I do play it fairly casual. I'm not really paying attention what I'm doing. So, and I refuse to put it too easy for whatever reason. So it is dangerous to just point your airplane down and
Tower icon Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra at runway 26 left, ready for takeoff, departing straight out.
we'll just take off right away and then take a right turn. We'll be fine. We have a good airspeed. I'm gonna look at when we hit 40. We're gonna give it some extra miles, and she wants to fly. Pull her up. Landing gear in. We're good. And we're good to go. I'm gonna take it a little bit slower this time. So the flaps are in. Alright, and over here, well, we're basically just coming in from the other side now. Is the Red Bull Ring. You see there's a couple of houses here, and imagine in this small region, or with that few people living here, about 250,000 people come in for the weekend and just stay and watch the race. And I'm gonna fly over here. I might do a active pause at that point so we can actually look at the racetrack real quick. Let's do some active pause, and we can take a look. Oops. So yeah, it's not entirely perfectly modeled. You can see it doesn't really recognize all the asphalt of the racetrack, but basically this is the start and finish line here. This is the autobahn, so you could basically directly connect here, and all those fields become parking spots, more or less. And in the middle, it's actually quite interesting. There's this big bull statue, which looks like the Red Bull symbol, that they didn't really model. It's maybe it will come at one point. I'm pretty sure somebody will model it in higher detail, but yeah, they didn't really model out most of the racetrack, which is totally fine. And I think the seats here in the curves, they became buildings instead of being, you know, just outdoor seating, which is fine. Some great restaurants over here. If you're ever in the area, check out those restaurants that are at the racetrack. You can actually access them without having tickets. You can just drive underneath the racetrack and check out those beautiful. Where's my plane, by the way? That's the weird thing with active pause. Let me zoom over here. Whoa! All right. And we're out of active pause. All right. So this is the racetrack, and it's, as I mentioned over there, here coming now into the picture is basically the largest city here in the area, with about, I say large, with about 15,000 people in the city, and in the region it's about 30,000. So still a fairly small town. We're gonna put the landing gear down. We'll put some flaps out so we get some extra lift. Actually, we don't need to put them that high out yet. We'll make a nice right turn. Yeah, beautifully modeled. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be at one point, maybe a Zeltweg update, so where they completely, I mean, it's already great, the airport, the military airport, but they might put even a higher model in place. And potentially even do the, it's gonna be tough to get in there, but we'll try. Let's make sure we get a little bit slower. Our stall speed will be 40, which is fine. We just need to get down with the altitude. That's the cool thing here. This plane just feels, it is fun. There's obviously some quirks with the new flight simulator that just don't feel as right as with the old one yet. But I mean, can you complain with that? It's just, I'll trade that any day. We're pretty high still. Alright, we gotta float down. We have a lot of runway here, so let's make sure we smoothly float in here. We're a little bit late and a little bit high, but our plane is not necessarily we're just gonna float to the ground. Let's make sure we don't lose complete airspeed. Pull our nose up a little bit. There we go. Smooth. Smooth. And that's it. And we roll out. It's just this is a great aircraft. That would be one of my choices if you have the money, because they still cost like $300,000 or $400,000, but that would be a good choice of, you know, just casually flying in real life. But hey, gotta have the money first for that thing. So let me just see where we can exit. We're so far down, or so didn't really get anywhere on the actual track. So let me. There we go. Of course, we're going way too fast doing all those. I can actually go down here. I just want to see the airport real quick, and then we're good. Then we'll fly our second flight in Connecticut. And I'm playing this game, by the way, I'm not playing this on the Ultra. I play this on at a 2K resolution with high level. And I must say I'm blown away how well it runs. I mean, I have a continuous experience of 30 frames. I mean, it might dip underneath once in a while, but my experience, it always feels like it's over 30 frames, which is all I need for a flight simulator. This is not a combat flight simulator. This is really great. And they got what I heard, most of the building placements perfectly right. Obviously the buildings, if it's not the hand model stuff, it's photogrammetry, which they use data to model it, and most of it looks appropriate. And I mean, it looks like a small airport, and it looks like the airport that we have up there. If you look at the satellite imagery, that is how the buildings. I think one of them, that's where the Eurofighters, our fighting jets, are in there. And yeah, I think we can leave it here. I think everything went good. Just looks good. I mean, can't complain. Let me check out the... Oh, okay, so you can quick change the views here. That's pretty good to know. Alright. Pocket break in. We're good. Let's go back to the main menu. Yeah, incredible flight simulator. I have so much fun, and fun in a way that I didn't have before. The P3D and FSX are still incredible flight simulators. I mean, they also modeled the world incredibly well. It's just they had to deal with the old engine, right? 16 years old or whatever when it was initially developed, with a few updates, but this just screams 2020, and it's beautiful. So stop me salivating over the whole thing, and let's go to let's start out of Brainerd. Did I not have... Yeah, I had it in here. History, there we go. Brainerd Airport. We take that. And where do I want to go? I was hoping that I want to find Coventry Lake, so I'm just gonna leave it as that. I want to find Coventry Lake and land on the lake, which will be cool. And that's also another thing I remember in the FSX. I think there was a water plane in there, but I think it never felt as much fun as this Icon feels. It's a perfect beginner airplane, and it's just a ton of fun. It almost feels like a car inside. It doesn't feel like a plane. It almost feels like one of those tricycles that are having a cockpit where you sit inside. I don't know if you ever saw that, but it doesn't feel like an airplane. It's like, and we can... I don't know if you paid attention to the actual cockpit, but it feels more like a... As I mentioned before, as a car. Or more like a car. So yeah. Let's see. The loading times are there. I think there's sometimes some data being downloaded for the visuals. It's still way better than the old one. I mean, like, I played P3D and the loading times are equivalent, and I just don't get the same resolution. So we are at night here, and I'm still gonna change the time here a little bit. I don't wanna... It's not that dark yet, though. I guess the timing is a little bit off with reality. Weather and time. What is it? Oh, because I put it on the wrong timestamp before. Let's do live. There we go. We want to do it live. I'm gonna do weather live as it is right now. We had some storms coming through. So we're pointing south right now. The city is... Okay, let me see how those... The city is to our back. So we're gonna start out south, turn around, and we'll be good. Alright, let's fly like this. Get the view right. And then we're gonna fly to Hartford, and from Hartford we're gonna go A384, 384, and we're gonna make our way to Coventry Lake. I think we're good. Let's do this. Brainerd is a very small airport. I think it only has 2 running runways, but it's the closest to actually Hartford or downtown Hartford. A little bit wonky here. Alright, let's... It wants to take off, then let's let it take off. Gear up. And flaps up. There we go. So this is the second runway right underneath here. Oh my god, look at that sunset. Wow. And I always get a little stutter here when I fly over, and it takes about 10-15 seconds till it apparently loads the data in. I don't know if that's a bug, because it only happens in Hartford right now. It doesn't happen anywhere else. At least where I've flown. And you see the frame rate shitting itself. And it will recover. And it recovered. So something is going on with loading here that just tanks the frame rate, and then it recovers. It's only happening after start, and I think it has to do with, you know, certain detail. And I did see you can actually determine... Oh my god, look at that. That's incredible. Wow. Holy cow. That's beautiful. Well, that's Connecticut River underneath here. And that is 84. We're gonna fly eastwards. There's Rensselaer Field and Pratt & Whitney. Hey, Foxtrot Alpha 6901. Oh, cool. Nice to hear. Yeah, they're pretty cool. Alright, so we'll go down the highway, and this is not the lesser fun part, but I'm using the highway to actually guide my way to... I'm flying completely VFR right now, so no instrument following. Not really using any GPS or VFR. I'm just more or less winging it, and I'm gonna use the highway to guide me a little bit. So this is 384 starting here, We gotta just talk back to him.
Raider Tower Icon Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra frequency change.
The amount of detail that they put in, obviously with Bing Maps, but also the way it's rendered out is incredible. Pretty proud also that some people from my home state actually developed the photogrammetry algorithm and are represented here with this game, so shout out to them. Pretty awesome. Alright. And now we're going 384, and we actually staying on 384 for a little bit. Going a little bit too fast. We don't need to go that fast right now. Hopefully we get a nice... Hopefully we find our way to the actual lake. That would be amazing. Speed up a little bit. With car it's about what, 15 minutes, so it should be not that long with the plane, but I'm actually not gonna fly. I'm actually have to use the highway to guide me. And I know that there are lakes around. We'll be able to find it. There's one of the lakes over here. The reservoir. I could have set a geopoint, a GPS coordinate. But where's the fun in that? I think it's the lake over there. It's just astounding how many trees there are in Connecticut. It's just fabulous. We do the active pause, I just want to make sure. Yeah, that is correct. That is Coventry Lake over there. Basically pointing directly on the map to it. Alright, I think we're doing a good job. Actually want to take a slight right turn. Playing around with some settings here. All right, should probably stop playing around with this. There we go. Freaking amazing. Wow. With the lake in front of us. It's still quite high here. I think we're gonna abort here. We're gonna turn around and land in because I was way too high, and instead of forcing the landing, we'll just make a turn and then land in the other way. It's all good. Because I didn't want to dip it down too much. It's not good, and I didn't want to compensate with too much force just to deal with me not, you know, losing altitude. Oh, and this is, yeah, in all honesty, it's worth it. Jesus, wow. Okay. That wasn't worth. That's beautiful. It's first water landing. Let's see if Steam has any achievements for that. I'm pretty sure they do. Alright. Nose up. And we're live. And we landed. And there's nothing you can do besides turning. But you cannot slow the plane down. Wow, this is cool. I wanted to fly here because my mother-in-law just recently moved over here. So this is pretty epic. I'm pretty stoked with that. There's a plane coming in the back here. Wow, look at that. That's incredible. Okay, that was worth it. Oh my god, this is great. That's really amazing. Wow. Playing around with the views here a little bit. Let me go into the... Let me go into the drone. I mean, look at that. That's insane. That's... I don't even know what to say. This is beautiful. I just wanna stay here. Watch the sunset. I could get to think about it. Jesus Christ. There we go. Motor off. That's peaceful. That's a good evening. After work, just chill out at the water. Sounds up a little. So you guys can hear that. It's peaceful. I think that's worth a Steam screenshot. There we go. That's how good this is. Wow. Alright. That was pretty cool. Really cool. It almost looks like it's pre-rendered. It's like some menu for a game. Wow. All right. Let's get this baby back on. And let's fly home. Let's fly with the city. Let's bring the flaps up a little bit. Let's hope our first start goes well in water. There we go. Buttery smooth. Flaps up. Is it air traffic coming in here in the back? I'm wondering. What is that? Is that a UFO? There's something coming along. Alright, we don't have time for that right now. Let's take a turn back to the west. Let's fly home. Due west. Yeah, that was a beautiful landing. Wow, I'm happy I did that. Just being able to land on that lake at sunset in real time is pretty awesome. A lot of lakes here in Connecticut. A lot of lakes. And we'll fly back to Brainerd and land there safely. And that was it. Just a quick casual flight. Don't want to always fly those long-winded legs. Because there's not really a lot of flying actually involved. But once you get to the altitude, right, it's cruising. But this thing, no autopilots, just flying, just having fun. This is what it's all about. Flying a little bit too much north. Want to line us with the highway again. Let's just transpond that. But this one doesn't have any autopilot or anything. I didn't really even look around at the plane yet, but this is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. We have the highway there, but this is direction capital. And here's the highway again, and we're just gonna use the highway to point us to the city. And in the back, this white line is the Connecticut River again. So we want to align us a little bit with the river, just from from my experience. We're gonna slow it down a little bit. This is also the airport we flew out when I started the around the world. It is the first time that I'm returning ever since I started about 3 or 4 months ago, which I will continue. I did originally plan on making the stream on Sunday, I think it was yesterday, yeah, all about the leg 7, but then I realized I need a little bit more feel for the simulator. I didn't know how to do the views yet and stuff, and I didn't have my joystick completely set up, so now I feel a little bit more comfortable. Well, that's a lie. I still feel highly uncomfortable in twin props and toe props, but I think we can manage, and I think that's all it needs, because again, technically all for fun. So we're gonna land in Brainerd, and Brainerd is south of Hartford but along the Connecticut River, and you should be able to see downtown fairly soon, and then from downtown we land directly into Brainerd. Currently over Manchester, which is my hometown. And yes, I did land, or actually my cousin landed in front of my house, and sadly they didn't adequately get my house shingles right, so I'm offended. No, it's incredible that the street layout, the nearby lake is amazing where I live. It looks like where I live. The houses are not accurately modeled, and this is not a house simulator, it's a flight simulator, so it's all good. So this is a lot of lights down there. What is that? Is that the mall? I think that's the mall. Yeah, that is Manchester Mall, or Buckland Hills Mall. This looks pretty cool, and I remember I did fly over this exact same spot with P3D and Orbix, real world, and this is how Orbix looked, or P3D looked with Orbix, for about $150. This is how Microsoft Flight Simulator looks out of the box. So, I mean, not bad. Not freaking bad. Alright, and we see the airport lights over there already. Gonna focus a little bit now. Get our airspeed down. Make sure we're losing a little bit of altitude before we put the flaps in. So we don't have to. Just so we don't have to fight for altitude later on. We're trading altitude for speed right now, which is why we have to reduce the throttle a little bit as well. But we're gonna do a base turn here now. Gonna put our flaps up. 15. Gotta get a little slower for our flaps here, because we don't want to overstress the airplane. It's pretty incredible. Once we're on final, we're gonna let the landing gear go down. I mean, at this point we're not going faster than a car. We are 65 is a pretty nice slow airspeed. A little bit careful here with the airspeed. I want to go under 60 right now. I see the airport back there. Put a little bit more power, more throttle in place. Like this view a little bit better. Landing gear gets extended, which pushes our speed a little bit down, but it's fine. And we're putting full flaps in. This is gonna be a nice landing, hopefully. Coming in pretty smooth right now. Speed is good. 60. We're probably gonna reduce a little bit right before we land. And it feels different. It does feel like a little bit more like you gotta steer. The wind is a little bit more realistic, it feels like. So what I'm doing here now is I'm using the throttle to either pitch or keep my nose up, and it seems to be at 60. We're just slightly losing or pitching up, so we gotta go over the river and then land. We're a little bit too far right. We wanna counteract that. Want to try to be as center as possible and bring her down safely. I'm gonna go a little bit down with the speed. A little drop at the end. I should have pulled it up a little bit more, but we landed safely. We didn't overstress the aircraft. And we're here. We are here. And so safely, that's the more important part. Well, thanks everybody for watching. Again, this was fun. I want to do those smaller flights more often. Again, I am still a noob to MS Flight Simulator 2020. There's still a lot of things that I want to check out and just get sorted out and improve, so such as switching into the drone mode. With that image, I'll leave you guys. Oh Jesus, it's not working out at all. There we go. With that, I leave you guys. Have a good night. Hope you enjoyed the flight and see you guys soon. I actually potentially leave you with a little song. Did I do that? Yeah, I do that. Have a good one, guys.